Okay, we've walked from the car a little bit up the road here to the bridge, which goes over Beaver Dam Creek. And so on one side of the creek is kind of a swampy, marshy area. We're not going to be collecting water samples from that side. On the other side is where we're actually going to be collecting water samples. There's actually a kind of a dam underneath this bridge. And so we're actually going to be sampling from the downstream side where the water is actually flowing out of the swamp down towards Newport News. Okay, so in our blue bucket here, we've got everything we're going to need. First thing we need to collect the sample is this pitcher attached to a long cord. And I'm just going to stand here and gently lower this down. The cord's a little bit jumbled up here. There we go. So I'm just going to lower this down so that I can get a little bit of water in here. That's fine. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a few inches. And then I'm going to pull it back up. Okay. And I'm actually going to walk back now to a safer place so that I'm not standing right in the middle of the bridge. Take it right back here where I can be a little bit safer off the side of the road. Okay. So in our bucket here, we've got a couple of different sampling instruments. One of them is this yellow pH meter. Okay. So this is really simple to use. First, you just take off the black cover on the bottom to expose the actual part of the probe that we're going to use to measure the water. There's also a switch on the top, which is what we use to turn it on. Notice that there is a red line around the bottom of the probe. We don't want to put the probe in any deeper than that, or otherwise the instrument can be damaged by getting water inside of it. So I'm going to switch it on, wait a second here, and then just put it down in the water. I'm going to swirl it around in the water a little bit. Just helps it to adjust better. I'm going to leave it in there for maybe 15 to 30 seconds until the number starts to stabilize and doesn't change very much. So it looks like it kind of stabilized at about 7.9 for pH. I'm going to go ahead and write that down on my record here inside my packet. So I'm going to put 7.9 for pH. I'm going to put the probe cover back on. The other instrument we have in here measures salinity and temperature. And so I'm going to take the probe cover off, and then I'm going to press the power button, wait a second for it to be ready. And then just like the other one, I'm just going to put that in a couple of inches into the water and swirl it around for 15 or so seconds. This one usually doesn't take as long to stabilize. But it looks like I've got a salinity reading of 17 parts per thousand and a temperature of 29.4 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, 0.17 parts per thousand. So I'm just going to record those numbers. And then I'm done. I'm just going to put my cover back on. The probe, and first I'm going to turn it off. Put the cover back on. I'm going to dump out my water.